Hi, this is Liam from Turn Sounds, and showering while wearing your clothes is a great way to kill two birds with one stone. Wash your body and your clothes.
Washing your clothes.
Yeah.
Nice. Welcome to Just Keep Walking. This is a podcast focused on the Walking Dead TV show, and today we're here to talk about season 11, episode 8, called For Blood.
For blood.
That's right. I'm your host, Ben, and joined by...
Hey, I'm Liam.
And we don't have Isaac today. If you've been following, he hasn't had a baby. His wife's had a baby, but you got the picture. And so he's taking a bit of time off the podcast, and the baby's very happy and healthy, which is very good to see. So, yeah, but you've got us for tonight, so
You do.
it's going to be a fun one.
It is. Buckle up.
Yeah, spoilers ahead for the episode, and pretty much, we'll just dive straight into it. So,
Let's do it.
what did you think about the episode overall?
I loved it.
Awesome.
Absolutely loved it.
Cool.
Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, same. Loved it. Really. I don't know. It felt like almost a best of Walking Dead in a few ways, or like best of some of the other mid-season finales and stuff like that. So that was fun, and it was just exciting. I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
Yeah, it was good.
Brilliant episode. One of my favorites.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Same here. I have to take time and soak things in before I can say it's definitely in my favorite 10 or whatever. But this is definitely one of my one or two favorite episodes from this season at least. So,
Easy.
yeah,
This is probably the best episode this season for me.
Yeah, for sure. I want to say that, but something about me just really likes episode 3 for some reason.
Which one was that one?
Which was sort of started with Maggie going to the shopping center and all the Reaper stuff like that, and looking for the horses. I haven't gone back and watched them all yet, so my opinion will probably change then. But there's something I like about that one. So
It was a good episode.
we'll see. Yeah, but anyways, diving into this one, it obviously picks up from where we left off last time with the Maggie leading the herd, whispering the herd towards Meridian, where the Reapers are living at the moment. And basically, it sort of stretches it out throughout the whole episode. We don't get a whole fight scene straight away.
Yeah.
Of them just invading the place. It stretches it out, which I'm all right with. But
Absolutely.
we do get sort of a slow burn, and they get to just focus on lots of little moments, which is nice. And do you want to talk about this first kill that we get?
Very clever. Very, very clever. And I'm glad that you pointed out we didn't get a one big fight scene to begin with. The way they went about it made this episode as great as it was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was all very strategic. So they've got the scout who comes out to try and lure the herd away. But meanwhile, later on we find out that Pope sent him in as a bit of a dummy to see what's going on.
Right, yeah.
But they've gone, all right, cool, we've got the little scout that's come out now, we'll take him out and we'll steal his walkie-talkie. So we've got a little bit of a recon going on.
Yeah, nice.
So, just very, very smart.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, if they had, just full on busted down the walls right at the start and the battle was over in 5 minutes, that would have been so annoying. That's good. But very nice little callback to the first time we met the Whisperers, killing Jesus. Maggie pulls the same move here to take down rando scout dude. And then Negan and stuff join in, stabbing him, taking him down. So, it's, I don't know, it's fun to see it from a different perspective.
Absolutely. I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool way to start the episode. And then right after that, we're thrown into this whole storm situation that's going on at Alexandria. Which I quite liked it. It was
Me too.
It felt very very real and stuff. Hey, it was cool.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, something exciting about it.
Yeah, exactly. And it got me thinking, actually, they've not really done, like, they've done storms before.
Yeah.
But they've not done, like, a hurricane or a tornado, anything
They've
like
done
that.
one tornado.
Have they?
Which was
The barn.
Yeah, when they were hiding in
Yes,
the
yes,
barn.
I
yeah.
stand corrected.
But,
Yeah, I
again,
would love to see that more of
Yeah.
that. Or, I mean, they were in the barn and you could feel the walkers. Well, not feel. You could see
Yeah.
them trying to
Yeah.
bust through the barn, but you don't really get a whole lot of like, the storm, so to speak.
Sure.
Whereas on this one, you see like bits of the fence come down, and you're like, "Why are they boarding up the house?" Was my first thought, but then I'm like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, the fence is really brittle." As soon as the fence goes,
Yeah.
you've then got walker breaches and.
Sure. It's not just to keep like
Yeah.
water out or whatever. It's, yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I thought that was really, really, really cool.
Yeah, very cool. And yeah, I like any time that we just get natural
Yeah.
like elements as a problem, whether it's I don't know, just like lack of food or weather and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like all these things that just even it was so brief, but like when they come across the dogs on the road and stuff like
Yeah.
that, it would be cool if maybe something like that lasted a bit longer, but just seeing all these natural elements that it doesn't always have to be an actual evil scheming enemy at play. Like there's enough of the world to fight as is.
Absolutely. And it's one of the things that makes this show so good, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
not just that the world is overrun by zombies. It's the
Yeah.
fact that, yes, that's what's happened, but now what does the world look like?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's brilliant. It's like a survival show.
Yeah.
And I love it. Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah. Storm, aces.
Yeah, for sure. And we see Diane again. Always good
Yeah.
just to have
Once
people
in a
like
blue
her
moon.
pop up randomly. Every time, like this is a bit more understandable than the Tower episode, or it was more so the finale of season 10, when the whole community was supposed to be brought up
Yeah.
in this place and you only saw like 10 people. And for this, it's more understandable because they're probably spread out between the different buildings. But still, sometimes when you see people like Diane or Scott pop up, it reminds you like, yeah, there's like dozens, if not hundreds of other people in this community. Where
Yeah.
are they all?
Yeah.
Like, so obviously a lot of that's just practical, like TV shooting wise and stuff. But I don't know. It's just a reference that would be good. I'd like to see that a
Yeah,
little bit
that's
more.
true.
Yeah, but that's a small thing. Yeah, so not much to say about this Reaper scene. Come back to Reapers later. Yeah, I like this when they're deciding to go out in the hole. You can just see the sass and everything
I
from
love
between
it.
Connie and Kelly. It's like, no, don't go out. I'm going anyway. Oh, fine, whatever. So a few cool moments there. I'm trying to remember exactly who went, but yeah, interesting that Connie just straight away. I want to go with Carol. Yeah, maybe I'd hope they'll come back to that probably next episode, and because they've got to follow on with the rest of
Yeah.
the storm.
I hope so. I hope they don't skip over it.
Yeah,
Just show the aftermath or something. That would be very terrible.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then when it's getting to the point of like cheesiness of everyone going, I want to help, and Virgil's like, I want to help. I was like, come on, man, you can't even stand up.
I'm glad they did that. Yeah. I'm like, settle down, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Like Connie, she hasn't had her sleep, but she's at least like capable.
Well, do we know if they have slept though? Because surely they would have.
Well, it was more so they said, Connie, you've just got back, and in the other episode, Virgil said to her, like, you haven't slept for days. So
So
maybe just got back means like you just got back a few days ago.
That's
Could
what I
mean
was
that,
thinking.
yeah.
I'm like, surely. Well, yeah, yeah. My first thought was that. I'm like, well, yes, you've just got back, but it probably means within the last couple of days.
Yeah, okay. I was
Wow.
just making assumptions there. That makes a lot of sense, though. Yeah. No, fair enough. Have we even seen Carol and Judith talk before? Like maybe once or twice, very
Not a
briefly.
whole lot.
I know once, which I think was it at the fair? It was sometime around the fair, and and Carol hasn't seen Judith in like the
Yeah,
6-year time
yeah.
scale. Is this Judith? But I don't think they really talk about it. That just felt a bit weird to me because she's talking to her like she's this little kid. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you just stay here and be brave.
Help the kids be brave. I was thinking that. I'm
Do you
glad
even
you.
know
Yeah,
like this person?
yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, come on, man. If I was Judith, I'd be like, settle down. I've grown up in this. Okay, this is all I know. This is my bread and butter.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so interesting thought. But yeah, all this Reaper stuff we'll talk more about them later, unless there's anything that comes to mind you want to talk about there. Just with their conversations. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm just skipping through the episode on an iPad. So every time we get to like, this has been a theme for the last few episodes, pretty much. Another Reaper talking scene. All right,
Yep.
skip. Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. But yeah, in general, I've got nothing against Gracie at all. I think she's fine. Like, I mean, she doesn't really do anything particularly noteworthy usually, but look, this episode, man, it's not her best.
Yeah.
So first off, she goes and she's just like swinging a like stick around or something, just playing right by the door, even though people have said like, stay away from the doors, don't go near them. She could be anywhere in the room. She's just like blindly with her back to the door, la 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 la, la, and then gets grabbed by a walker. So strike one. Yeah, not a good
Yeah,
one.
wasn't her greatest episode, like you say. She made some questionable choices.
For sure. So now we're dealing with walkers, essentially. Back to the Reapers here. We see that maybe they are a bit more on top of things than we thought they were. They've got mines planted and
Yeah.
lots of things blowing up. So yeah, what do you think of that?
It's cool, but I also thought like that's a very dumb
Yeah?
idea.
Why is
Like,
that?
Well, if you look at it in the context of a herd or even just a handful of walkers who trip a mine, I'm no expert with mines, but I would imagine it's not a very big space there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take much in my opinion, for one mine to trip off another, for all of them to just start exploding out of the blue because they're very tight knit. Add on to that, like, okay, this is a ploy to get rid of a bunch of walkers that are getting too close to our walls. Let's make a really loud noise and rip up everything that is within this little sphere radius, whatever the blast radius is.
Yeah, loud noise.
While
That's going to attract more
a
walkers.
heck of a lot more. Yeah, like
yeah.
you've killed maybe 5, 6, 7, and then 100. Wow, however loud it is, you're going to be like, oh, what's that noise?
Yeah.
So I thought, like it's cool and it would work well with people potentially, but walkers, I'm like, no, you're just going to draw more in.
Yeah, good point. And I mean, maybe it was just easy to put the mines down, but I wonder how much effort they went to and if they could have put that into digging a moat, or at least just for part of it. Not necessarily 360, but at least that would like hold them up a little bit more.
Why have we not seen moats yet?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that out too, because when you mentioned moat, I was actually thinking that during the episode.
Right.
When they're about to like unveil what this secret weapon is, I'm like, please let it be some sort of thing that like erodes everything around the compound.
Yeah.
And they've got this wicked moat that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, try and touch us now.
I don't know how that would work, but it sounds
it would
good.
not work at all. I don't know how they could pull that off.
But hey, if they found a way, go for it. Yeah, and Daryl's obviously keeping an eye on things and feeling a bit concerned there. We see, he's being very proactive. So, yeah, that's right. This is where he kills the guy. He gives him a cigarette and very smooth. And so snapping the lock to the food room, stuff like that. It's just like leaving enough for people to work with, but not like drawing too much attention to himself. It's cool.
He was brilliant this episode.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know, better and better as it got on, hey, but even right from the start, like his game of being like subtle enough and not too obvious with things, but still strategic.
Yeah, very quick on his feet. Like, not only did he recognize, hey, this is a whisperer tactic, he's like, he surely would have, you'd imagine he would have put two and two together and gone, okay, Negan was with the whisperers for a time.
Yeah.
So he would have learned how to do this. He's now,
sure.
this is them using whisperer strategies to try and take down the compound.
Yeah.
Cool. So the second Pope asks a question, just like that, he's like, yeah, I've seen this before, like down south.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
Like, good on you, buddy. Yeah, just really smart.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, back to the storm. That's right. So Rosita,
Yes.
go on, talk about this
Total
moment.
badass. Oh my gosh. Do you want to talk about it?
No, you talk about it.
This was Rosita 2.0 right here. Like, pulls up whatever that weapon is called.
Yeah.
It is a cool sword thing with like teeth on it. That was just like there is no other word for it other than badass. Like, that was so cool. So on my command, like, let me out. I'm gonna cause it. What did she say? I'll buy some time or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I was hoping she wasn't gonna die. I thought that might
Yeah,
be what
it
it was
almost
leading to.
Yeah, a few points.
Oh, but yeah, like, she goes out there. She's got like brass knuckles with spikes on it in one hand, her wicked sword in the other, and she's just mowing down walkers. This is so cool.
And speaking of like best of mid-season finales and stuff before, it reminded me a lot of Rick going out and going nuts
I
with
thought
the
that too.
machete.
Yeah.
And just being in
I love it.
Alexandria in a very similar kind of setting with all the
No
walkers
Way Out.
breaking in. Yeah, very similar.
A lot of No Way Out vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we get the bang on the door, which I thought was a little bit bizarre, but they let her back in.
Well, yeah, I guess you've got to do... Oh, no, she could have just gone to the window. It's
That's
me.
what I
Let
thought.
me...
Well, and Judith was looking out the window
Yeah,
too.
okay, good point.
I was a little bit confused by that because I would have expected Judith to be like, "Hey, Rosita's back at the door. Let her in."
Very good point, yeah.
Yeah, but instead just a very dull sort of knocking. Yeah, I'm like, is that the wind? Is that...
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then she walked in, and everything in me is like, "Oh no, she's been bitten."
Right.
That was what I was thinking.
Right.
So I hope that's not the case.
You still think it's a possibility?
It could be.
Right.
She
Yeah,
wouldn't then
maybe.
and there. Like, it's still crisis mode, isn't it? Like, she's
Yeah.
taken out the threat just there. There's still however many are roaming around Alexandria.
Yeah.
And it's still that they're not out of the woods yet. What would be the point in
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I've been bitten"? I mean, they could cut her if she got bitten on the arm. They could cut her arm off, but then they have
Sure.
to deal with her bleeding out while also trying to
Yeah.
deal with everything else.
Yeah, good point. Not that I want Rosita to die, but that would be cool just to have. I want that to happen at some point because it's sort of been like happened once or twice before in the series where someone gets bit and then you find out a few episodes later. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
of course they got bit. But what did you think of the whole entrance back in when she just like stands there?
So cool.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary, but so cool.
It was a bit much for me. I was like, oh, I don't know.
I loved it because it was
Yeah.
it was way over the top. Like, it was completely unnecessary.
That's
like, you
fair.
would have expected her to just rush back in.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting close the door quickly.
Yeah, but
yeah.
it was cool.
Hey, well that's fair because they were definitely like it was intentional. They were just going for like a hero moment.
Yeah.
And stuff. Stay away from the windows.
That was so dumb.
it was a bit much for me.
It was so stupid, but I loved every second of it.
Ah, that's good. That's good.
I am a Rosita fan too. That might be why I'm
Yeah,
a little
well,
bit biased.
But that's good. I mean, you're allowed to be, and if
Yeah.
it did it for you, if it was a cool moment, it's a cool moment. It's a TV show. You can't take it too seriously.
Very true. That is very true. Although we take it very seriously
well,
for listeners. When
That's true.
just know we do take this very seriously.
Very true. I've added this to my list of questions for Scott Keevan when we get the chance to talk to him next year. This shot of Daryl and Leah. I don't know if you noticed that there was something interesting going on with the focus there. I think it's
Ah,
I really don't know much about it actually, but there's this kind of lens that can like focus on 2 points at once.
Oh, wow.
And I think they were using something like that because it kind of looks like a tilt shift lens, but it's focusing on both of them without focusing on the rest of the image. So yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see how they did that. But
that's cool.
it's just random. Looks kind of cool. Yeah, and this is where Daryl really gets real with her as the stakes are getting higher, and it's kind of now or never, and you can see him thinking about it, like, should I go for it or not? And yeah, how do you think he handled it?
He played the cards he was dealt. I thought it was real. Well, as in, what else could you do in that scenario other than, like trying to take out the weapon yourself? You'd still have to explain yourself, but he obviously cares about Leah, so he's putting it all on the line, saying like, please don't do this.
For sure.
Yeah. What
And
are your thoughts?
I liked like when she says, "Oh, you lied to me," and he goes, "Well, look, I was, doing it to protect my family, and I'm sure you can understand that." And so just acknowledging is like, "Yeah, I lied, but like, come on, like let's just be real."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that, and just anytime someone really gets honest like that, yeah, I like it. But and as obviously it sort of unfolds as we go throughout the rest of the episode, but I definitely am on board with the whole thing of then her turning against Daryl for the sake of protecting her family, because
it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Like, imagine if it was you were following someone else coming into Rick's group and they're talking about like going, this is probably much worse. They're talking about going and killing the Saviors in the middle of the night, and you're like, oh, these guys really aren't that good people, so I've got to protect my family as well. There's so just it's the sort of thing where like just back to that idea of no one's the good guy, or the good guys who you're following, really, because there's a lot of points where if you were invading or like being a double agent in Rick's group, then you would have thought, man, these guys are not good.
Dodgy.
So
absolutely.
But then just because Pope's not good, that doesn't mean the rest of the people are necessarily all that evil.
Potentially,
Interesting idea, at least.
Were you expecting what happened with Pope?
This was like I was very much on the edge of my seat for all that, and then they cut away from it for a few scenes, and then came back, and again on the edge of my seat. So, I really didn't know what was going to happen. Hey, there are a few moments where he was talking with his back to Daryl, and I was like, Daryl should just like stab him right now, and so. But I really didn't know what was going to happen. Hey, and that's I enjoy that because it's sort of rare that happens. That you're in a moment where anything could happen. It could go any direction. So that was good. But no, I didn't see it coming. Did you?
Not at all. I did not expect Pope to die this episode.
Yeah,
was not expecting that at all. I'm like, oh wow, mid-season finale, and well. How would you call it?
Sort of, yeah. First, it is mid-season, but not the middle of the season.
Yeah. So, I didn't expect him to die so soon. I thought, towards the end, perhaps. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I was thinking more along the lines of either she's going to be like, no, I can't do it, but I'll let you escape. Like, just go, take your people and leave.
Yeah.
Or she'd be like, all right, we shall be together. Let's run away.
And really the thing that sets her off and really confirms, Pope's got to die is when he's targeting their own people. And then it comes back to that at the end of she'll do whatever she needs to do to protect her family. And then Pope was becoming a threat to that. So, so it was smooth the way it happened. I don't know, Daryl maybe could have been a bit more subtle or charged up to Pope and then pulled his knife out rather than like really loudly pulling his knife out and standing there giving him a chance to react.
Not the smartest idea.
Excuse me, sorry. But good the way, Leah. Then,
Yeah, out of the blue, I'm like, whoa. Actually, you know what did surprise me? Sorry,
Yeah.
not what didn't surprise me. How as soon as obviously Pope's gotten stabbed, the dude by the weapon was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And then
yeah.
Daryl throws his knife at him. As soon
Yeah,
as he
that
did
was
that,
smooth.
that was cool. But as soon as he did that, I'm like, bad idea.
Why?
Because, well, obviously they're going to have to take him down because he's seen what's happened.
Yeah.
But the second he stabbed him, well, threw the knife at him, my first thought was, yeah, she's not going to be on board now. You've just killed someone
Yeah.
that you didn't really, well,
Yeah.
he's not the bad guy in her eyes.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, that definitely reminds you when it's sort of the camera goes over to his dead body for a minute later.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, should we have actually killed him, or like could you just
Yeah.
grab him in the moment and not
Exactly right. But yeah, Daryl, in that split second, showed her, like, I will kill all of who you call family to save mine.
Yeah, that's
So,
it.
yeah,
Hey?
the second he did that, I'm like, oh, bad idea, mate.
Yeah. Good point.
Mm.
Tricky.
Well, which makes me wonder, like, would she have been more inclined to do things differently if you didn't do that? Like, would she have then turned to
Yeah, I
him
reckon
and said,
so.
we don't need to do this. You've seen how crazy this guy was. Why can't we all just try and work stuff out?
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, because Daryl's like,
Yeah.
it's like, nah, not going to fly.
Yeah. It doesn't just go one way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Hey, what could have been? And with them, yeah, because they're both in the same boat. So all it would take is for one of them to grab the guy, and then the other can just run and stamp out the fuse. Like, yeah. Tricky.
But
Not to
Daryl
be.
acted too quickly.
Yeah. So we got Maggie breaking into this car and hot wiring that. I thought, well, at least, when she took off and, throws the guy off, and that was exciting. I liked that. What do you think?
I liked everything but the hot wiring.
Well, yeah, I don't know anything about how hot
neither do
wiring
I.
actually works, but what about it?
Well, I don't know next to nothing about it as well, but it's always the same thing in movies. They pull out a couple of wires, cut a few of them up, and then just crisscross them.
Yeah.
And somehow that starts the car. Like, for one thing, it just looks very... Well, it's movie-ish, so I suppose you give it credit there. But I'm like, I would have liked it more if she had hid in the car because that dude was on her trail, and then she turns, like, she finds the key in the ignition or something, rather than going in and trying to hot wire it. Yeah, for me, I'm just not a big fan of the hot wiring sort of stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
But everything else, that was great. Like the dude hanging onto the car and her throwing him off, and then ramming it through the gate.
Definitely, yeah, and it all looked really real and
Yeah.
visceral and stuff, which is fun. And I like that she injured herself jumping out as well. It wasn't just movies. Action hero jumps out and lands perfectly. It's like
I liked that.
probably wouldn't be very safe to do that.
No, and I'm sure it would be very painful.
Yeah, so that was cool. And one thing in defense of the hot wiring was just that at least they showed her looking for the keys first. That she didn't just
That's true.
go straight into the hot wire, but that was just a random thing.
How do they all know that too? Like, how do they all know how to hot wire?
Yeah, maybe at this point in the apocalypse, everyone's had to learn.
Yeah, I can. That's possible.
Did Glenn hotwire the sports car in
the
episode
Mustang?
2?
I think he did, didn't he? Yeah. We didn't have the
maybe he
key because
taught
it
her.
had an alarm.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
All right, he
yeah,
probably
yeah.
taught her.
Yeah, I'll pay that. That fits.
There we go. Nice little callback.
Yeah.
And then smash through the gate. Awesome. Yeah, back to this. This is sort of where it leaves off as a cliffhanger for the storm situation. Again, Gracie, what are you
I
doing?
know, right?
What?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just silly, like, or I don't know, cheap. Like,
Yeah.
just find a better reason for them to
I
have to run off or whatever. I don't
Yep.
know, but Grace is just like la la la, walking around like, oh, I'm just looking for a weapon because you guys all have weapons. It's like,
Yeah.
what? After all these like years, you've never thought about this before. Now suddenly,
Oh my gosh! And of all the times to do that, right when the door's about to break down,
yeah,
like, I would have been long before then. Okay, I can see a bit of fence. Yep, this is bad. There's going to be walkers in here. I need to find the weapon.
or even just set it up earlier in the episode. Because
Yeah,
the thing is, there's all these people around that could fight, and so there's no real need for her to do it. But if like everyone else was giving it 100% and Gracie was just like sitting there not helping, and then like if that was sort of seeded earlier in the episode and she really wanted to do something to help, then then maybe I would buy it. But like she didn't need to do anything, so yeah.
I agree. And I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but was she not just standing in the room looking at the windows?
Yeah.
You're not even looking for a weapon.
Yeah, I thought they were making a deal out of the flooding or something.
Yeah, that's
and then it's
what I
like,
thought.
oh no,
Like,
she's
oh,
not
that's
even
not good.
worried about that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that. Like, come on, like you say, it felt cheap.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Gracie.
know. Crazy. She can redeem herself, hopefully. But I actually watched today the episode where Rick finds Gracie in the first place. So that was good.
Was that Morales' kid?
No, but it's like right. He meets Morales right after that. He sort of turns around.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but he kills the dad before he walks in and finds the baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, not great.
And then pretty much all the Reapers are clearing out, and episode ends on obviously big cliffhanger of I don't know if I liked the firework or the things flying straight into the camera. That seemed a bit cheesy, but yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah.
How can you? Yeah, I don't know, because they're standing there. It's not like there's a chance for them to run away because we see the things fire.
Yeah.
So. Well, it'll be interesting at least.
Pick up dead bodies.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Mm.
Or drop and hide behind dead bodies.
Mm. Yeah, or we're just going to pick up and they're sort of running through, there's explosions happening all around them and somehow they survive.
We don't know if the arrows explode yet, do they? We've got they've
only
got those
assume
little
so.
things on them. But
Imagine that it like picks up and they like builds up to it again from the cliffhanger, and then they fire and it's just like fireworks, and then pew. It's not even dangerous because they look like fireworks.
Yeah, they did, but I don't even know if they're meant to explode. I thought perhaps maybe the sort of like fireworky stuff on them was just to propel them forward.
Oh, maybe.
So they're like, I suppose they are fireworks, but with arrowheads, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
That was my take on it. So, yeah, I mean, they could try and hide behind stuff, or
it doesn't seem like a very good weapon if
there was
it
a lot
was
of
just
them.
arrows.
I mean, it was just by sheer volume.
Yeah,
if
I
anything's
guess
in
so.
the area, it's going to get.
Good point.
That was a terrible arrow sound, but I gave it my best shot.
Yeah. I don't
Mind you,
know.
I
Waste
could be
of
wrong.
resources. Surely there's other ways to propel arrows.
Yeah.
Fling them.
Let's hope they explode. That'll at least be
Yeah.
pretty.
I was assuming they were, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they don't.
And now we have however long we have to
Yeah.
find out the answer to that question.
Till next year sometime at least, because then I saw that, I think it was on social media somewhere on the Walking Dead page saying last episode of the year. So
That's normally the way, though, isn't it? It finishes around this time and picks up February-ish.
usually it starts around
Oh,
early October,
Yeah,
so
you're
it
right.
would be like starting now and go into
Yeah.
December. So definitely a bigger wait than usual.
Yeah.
But what can you do? At least we got, at least we've got these 8 episodes.
Yeah,
That's like 8
that's
more than
very
we
true.
usually have. So
Very true.
yeah, and I guess that's the thing with with Pope dying and stuff as well, who knows how long the Reapers are going to still be a part of the story. But yeah, it very much seems like they were sort of there for the first batch of episodes for the first third of the season, and then they're probably going to move on. And obviously the Commonwealth has got to play a bigger part in the story overall. So, well, yeah, what do you reckon? What can you see the rest of the season looking like?
I was trying to figure that out, and I don't know. Like maybe I can't imagine them leaving Alexandria to join the Commonwealth, but maybe setting up some sort of how they had all the different communities beforehand. Commonwealth being a big part of that. Yeah. I really don't know though. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of confrontation between the Reapers and our crew.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I guess it's the thing of like how much of a part is the Commonwealth going to play? Is it just going to be a side story with Eugene and Ezekiel and Princess?
I hope not.
Oh, Yumiko as well. Like, or is everyone going to come there? Which I don't know if I'd want that necessarily. No. So yeah, like this next chunk, are we going to have power dynamics with what's his name, Lance Hornsby and stuff like that, and Pamela and some of that stuff? Is that going to be worked out before people arrive from Alexandria, or are they at all? Who knows? Yeah,
I really don't know.
Even like the whole reason. Well, no, not necessarily the whole reason, but like, okay, now I'm just getting mixed up. I don't think that's that's not even true. I was gonna say the whole reason they went out was to find support for the Whisperer War, but that's not even true. Yeah. So I'm glad that we don't know what's going to happen, because that's definitely exciting. Yeah. And that's been fun having AMC Plus release it a week early as well. I mean, I don't know if I like the idea in general, but for us, it's been good because usually in the week leading up to an episode, they'll put out like heaps of teasers and clips. And so you kind of know half the episode what's going to happen before you even see it. So, but for this, no one's talking about it because no one's seen it, and there's no previews or anything for it floating around on social media. So really, I felt like we've had a much fresher experience of the episodes.
Absolutely. Maybe a like a short 20-second trailer for the next episode, but that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Very refreshing.
Definitely. So yeah, it's good. How have you felt about this whole first chunk overall?
Really good. Really, really good. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Because right off the bat, I was a little bit, if you recall, skeptical about the Reapers.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'm really, really liking it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of, yes and no. It's definitely getting like sort of, especially from episode 5 onwards. Like it was really feeling like the story was moving much more. It didn't quite feel right to me at the start. It kind of felt like it was floundering a bit story-wise, and and same, like I said this with episode 6 with Connie and Virgil and stuff like that. A lot of it just felt like kind of glorified bonus episodes still, which were great for that little COVID 6, but really we should be getting into meaty story here, and it hasn't quite been feeling that way. So, it's, even though it's good to have it unpredictable, a sense of direction is still like helpful. And so really like this season has made really apparent to me like how much of a role Rick played in just being the main character and having that central character to sort of lead the story and to focus on, because that's kind of one of the big things now is it feels like it's kind of all over the place and there's lots of things happening, but there's not really a story that we're following necessarily, even though there's lots of little stories.
That's very true. It's a good point.
So definitely holding out hope for the rest of the season. But it hasn't been my favorite season so far for sure. But that's on the plus side though. Things like cinematography and just the whole way it's made. I've loved it. It's been looking really cool. Well made, and I like a lot of. Even because I'm going back watching season 8 at the moment, and like there's some things, some people call it gimple speak, with like unnatural dialogue and stuff, which I'm definitely noticing more in the older seasons now. And even things like King Ezekiel, when he was like really king and everyone's protect the king and stuff like that, like it just doesn't do it for me. No, and so
it's a little bit over the top, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so seeing people like him and Eugene just be a bit more, they've still got that element of them, but they're a lot more grounded this season. Yeah. And so I'm liking a lot of those things and a lot of the characters and dynamics and stuff. Pretty much all the small things, all the details I really like. It's just the overall bigger picture. I'm not quite feeling it so far. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
There we go. So anything else you want to talk about, or shall we wrap it up there?
I can't think of anything else unless you can.
I feel like there was something else in the episode, but no, I can't think of it. Something super random was, I'm pretty sure it was on Squawking Did, they were talking about this, sort of any sort of deeper meaning behind the weapons that people have, and Rosita's thing, like they were thinking about that for ages, and it's referred to often as like a shark tooth thing, but then they thought about it as like, Rosita, and it's got like thorns.
That's cool.
I don't know if that's necessarily intentional, but that's just kind of a random cool thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm happy to leave it there. Hey.
Cool.
Actually, one other thing is characters dying. We really haven't had any major characters die. We've just had like Maggie's crew, which just got introduced and then they all died straight away. So yeah, are you expecting that to happen, or do you have any predictions for? It's the last season, so they can really just go for it.
That's it. I mean, all bets are off, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope, but I feel like Rosita might be someone who they axe.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the case. I'd love to see her make it right the way through.
For sure.
But yeah, I feel like she could be one who kicks the bucket. I did think Ezekiel was going to die, but given the whole sort of build up around, Yumiko's brother being a surgeon and whatnot, sort of teasing that, they might actually pull through. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Carol and Daryl will have plot armor, so
yeah, for sure.
Safe.
Yeah, they're safe.
Everyone else is up for grabs, really, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not saying they should have done it this episode, but maybe like just at some point in this first part of the season to have at least a Diane or someone of that sort of caliber die, just someone that we recognize and know, would have added a bit more weight to it. And especially when you're getting to like big explosive finales like this where there's big battles, they killed Pope, so that's a big thing, of course.
Yeah, very
that's enough. I'm not saying to do it in this episode.
Give us more death.
Yeah. But just, you can raise the stakes a bit and really like, you may as well kill the characters who aren't doing anything. Just to raise the stakes for the other characters. Yeah.
You may as well just kill them.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's still 90% of Oceanside who we see
true.
like once every season now.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I'm at a loss.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing more. I really hope they can. They've turned up the scope a lot this season. Even things like the storm, where they've had maybe cheaper techniques to do it in the past, it really feels like they're throwing a lot of money at it.
Yeah.
And just doing it well. Characters is maybe one thing they could just do, like I was saying, have more people in this house this episode rather than like 10 random people, and then you wonder where the whole rest of the community is. Like there's supposed to be this massive community. So seeing more of that, especially if they do travel to the Commonwealth or there's something along those lines happening, to see like a massive migration of all the Alexandria people could be interesting. Or just having them all out on the road having to survive for a few episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see that, actually. That would be really cool.
Although they've already like shot, I don't know how much of the season, if they've already shot the whole thing, but at least they've shot a lot of the next chunk, because talking to Scott Keevan, who's the cinematographer, we're going to interview him at some point next year. He said sort of like wait till episode 13, 14 or so, because there's a lot of interesting stuff cinematography-wise happening around there that he wants to talk about. So I'm assuming from that they've already filmed it, or they're kind of filming around that point now. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Lots to look forward to.
Absolutely.
And another interview you can look forward to probably sooner rather than later is Aaron McLean, who's the VFX supervisor, and he's really really passionate about the show and his work and just filmmaking in general. So yeah, definitely looking forward to having a chat to him and hearing about his work. And even I listened to, he did an audio commentary with Carrie Payton on the Walk With Us episode where Alpha died and Hilltop was burning down and stuff like that. And there's so many things where you would just never even think that it was CGI, especially at the start. There's when Hilltop's burning down, just all these embers and things they added in to enhance the real fire that was on set. That just makes it look so much better. So awesome. It's one of those things where, like, we'll point out once in a while something that looks dodgy in CGI. But even I'll save it. The spider we were talking about the other episode. We've got resolution for that. So
there it is.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that really, when a VFX person is doing their job well, you don't notice it at all. Yeah. So it's kind of a shame to an extent, but
it's true. Yeah,
it'll be good to hear from him. All the work that goes into that. That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
For sure. So definitely stay subscribed and head to turnsounds.com. You can plug in there if you'd like to support the show and stay even more in touch with what's going on, be more of a part of the show. We'd definitely appreciate that. So turnsounds.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or email turnsounds@gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Any thoughts you've got on just Walking Dead in general, anything we've talked about? What you like hearing, what you don't like hearing, and we really appreciate it, just knowing that people are listening. So, I think we'll leave it there, and definitely look forward to more content coming soon.
Absolutely.
I've been your host, Ben.
And I'm still Liam.
And we will see you soon. Just keep walking.
Bye.